I've got news I'm excited to share. My tiny little town of 300 people is finally getting a quality ISP. I run an IT support company out of a tiny little town called Darrouzett, Texas. And for you city folks out there, yeah man, cowboys need IT support too. In Darrouzett, our choices for ISP networks are extremely limited, the same way that it is for all of these small rural towns across America. Here we had two choices whenever I moved here. It was a AMA Techtel, which uses something called a fixed wireless access network. It's just not adequate. It doesn't provide a stable enough connection, and it doesn't provide a fast enough connection. But it is one of the most popular types of networks to have in a rural area. And if you have no other choice, then yeah, that's great. The other option was Windstream. If you're in the IT industry, then you probably already know this. Windstream is a nightmare of a company to deal with. They literally do not care about their small customers. The crux of the problem is their absolutely terrible help desk support line. Their customer service is it seems like it's designed purposefully to make you not want to call them. Before I go any further into this, I want to state that Windstream finally fixed my problem and upheld the promise that they had made to me. But it took me unleashing the inner Karen that was inside of me that I did not know existed in order to get it done. I'm going to share a little piece of that with you. I've been doing IT support in the area for the past 15 years. It's a little tri-state area that covers Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. I've got stories to share about Windstream tech support calls for customers that I've dealt with. Whenever I moved to this town, I was essentially forced to have to buy Windstream because the only other service that was available just wasn't adequate for me. In order to get Windstream to fix the problem that I was having, it took me multiple years, multiple social media posts, hours upon hours of calls. I've got something like 15 hours of recorded phone calls with their help support line before I finally got into touch with somebody on Reddit. This guy, a tech out of North Carolina, who ended up taking my grievances that I had and pushing it to his superior, who then pushed it to their superior. PTCI's help desk support, on the other hand, is excellent. There's no runaround. I never dread whenever I had to call PTCI to get something done because I know that their techs are going to get on top of it. And even their level 1 help desk technicians have a decent amount of knowledge to be able to help the customers work through things. Windstream, on the other hand, I am almost certain that they just outsource everything. And I swear, man, their script is set up to make it to where the customers get so infuriated that they will never call back. So roughly 3 years ago, I had started my company and I was having massive problems with Windstream and they just weren't getting it fixed. I ended up getting in touch with the CEO, Jana Wallace at PTCI, to see if we could get their service over here. They were never able to come here previously because of how expensive it is to run those lines all the way out to a place that only has about 300 people. So Jana told me that they were up for this federal grant package. And I went through and I put together my story and issued it to them. And sadly, I don't think that grant ever came through. She followed up with me and said that just didn't happen. And the reason why the grant didn't go through, if I remember correctly, is because from the federal people's perspective, we already had a broadband service provider here, which was Windstream. As per my letter from 2020, though, I made the argument that we did not have a broadband service provider here because of the quality of the service that we were getting. I want to make this absolutely clear. The field service technicians for Windstream are good. The help desk is awful, and they do everything that they possibly can to prevent a help desk or a field technician being sent to your location. As per what the field technicians have told me, they have to deal with the same help desk support that we do whenever they call stuff in. So after years of having to deal with Windstream and just constantly having to badger them in order to come and get them fix the problem, I was promised that they were going to give me fiber at my business location. And the response that I got from them was that I was constantly being just pushed off and pushed off and pushed off. I finally got in touch with somebody at corporate again, and they got on top of it and ended up sending a field technician from another location out to do a special job just for me to get this thing installed. As of literally last month, December of 2024, I finally got the the fiber optic service at my location. Only to be greeted today with the knowledge that PTCI is going to be providing internet services here in Darrouzett, Texas. So, um, timing, I guess, man. I'm ecstatic that PTCI is bringing their internet services here to Darrouzett, Texas. And you should be too. If you guys have ever had any sort of problems with your internet services, take a look at PTCI. They're just a great company. I also do want to state this though. There is a company here in Darrouzett that has been here for, man, I think almost 20 years now, called AMA Techtel. They also provide an excellent internet service. And if you are in a rural location, meaning like PTCI is not going to be able to run wires to you, absolutely go with AMA Techtel. Like they are good at what they do. But for my purposes, people like me who require broadband connections, I just can't use them.